Welcome to my channel, Ford Family Funds. My name is Rachel, and here on my channel, I like to share budgeting, recap videos, personal finance related content. I let you know how I'm doing week to week, month to month, how I'm doing to save dollars one budget at a time, and the process I'm going through as we are buying our first house. So if you like this type of content, hit the subscribe button, join me on my journey. For those returning again, thank you so much. Glad to have you here. So yeah, let's get to this. So for this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my Navient loan history. So this is part 2. I posted part 1 a few days ago, and here for part 2, I'm going to be finishing it off. How did I do? How much did I pay? How long did it take me to pay the rest of this pesky student loan? So in my last video, I did share how I've had this loan for almost 20 years. I am turning 40 and I graduated college in 2003 for my undergraduate. So this was a loan I had taken out when I was in my undergraduate studies. I had gone to University of Hartford and then I went to NYU. NYU was very expensive and I had to take out a few loans in order to cover that education. So at the time when I was paying off this student loan and I had really started to pay it off in fuller force, at the time I had just gotten my job at my high school where I'm working today. I've been there for 8 years. And so pretty much in that time that I've been there, I've been able to pay off this loan. So back 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, my loan had just been resold. All right, so that's where I had ended with my last video. So my loan had been sold in July of 2013, and I'd already had the loan for 10 years. And in July of 2013, I also got my job at my high school and started to work full-time. I had already started paying off my loan more consistently, $230 a month, and I was starting to pay more attention to how much my interest was month to month. Where the first 10 years of this loan, I was just paying what I could. You know, I was just scrambling money together and trying to get the loan paid, and I was accruing late fees, and I was capitalizing on interest due to going to school, you know, getting my 2 master's degrees after my undergraduate degree. I was working side jobs. I wasn't working anywhere as a full-time employee with a salary and benefits. I was working as a waitress and a bartender and an adjunct art history lecturer, a museum educator. I was doing some freelance curriculum projects. I was driving all around the state of New Hampshire as I was going from school to school. I had moved in with family. Like, all of these things had happened in those first 10 years. I had rented a house. That didn't work out. I then moved in with family. I met my husband. I quit all my jobs and got my degree teaching social studies. And then I got 2 almost full-time, long-term substitute positions. And then I got my job where I am today as a high school teacher. So in those first 10 years, just as the recap, this was my original balance. So in 2003, original balance of $18,102.47. And then my first 10 years, I paid $11,295.11. So I did make some payments. About $42.50 went towards principal, $150 to late fees, and just about $7,000 towards interest. But unfortunately, with the forbearances that I did and deferments, I had a capitalized interest of $6,778.47. So that interest was added on to the original balance. So I had paid down $42.50 from this original balance. So that brought me to around $14,000. But then with capitalized interest, that brought me back up to around $21,000. And at the time that Navient purchased my student loan from Sallie Mae, due to Sallie Mae going bankrupt, my loan was resold at a price of $20,854.17. So you can see how that is $27.51, so $2,751.70 more than the original loan. So after 10 years of having this loan, I owed more than my original balance. That is crazy. And again, I did this to myself. I own that. I, took out way too much in student loan debt at a young age, 18, 19 years old, expecting I was going to get a job that was going to pay me, $80,000 a year. Unrealistic. That could have happened, but that's not what happened. And therefore, saddling myself with all of this debt, I became a slave to this lender, paying off all of this money every month, making sacrifices, things that we couldn't do because we were paying all of these loans, not just Navient, but my federal loan, my Citibank loan, the credit cards, the car notes, my husband's debt as well, minor compared to mine. And we're still paying it off, but we're in a much better place than we were. Keep in mind, I still have $116,000 of federal loan debt that, hopefully all goes as planned, but it should be forgiven because I'm working as a teacher, at a lower income school. And I love my job. I love my students. I love the kids I teach. I love my colleagues. There's so many great things that go along with my job. And, the income, though, compared to other school districts is not on par. But even still, I paid off this loan. I made a goal. I did, we focused on it and we did it, and consistency paid off. So before getting to the total amount, I'm going to go on this side and show you. Okay. So July 2013 to December 2013, when it was now owned by Navient, in that time I paid about $700 towards principal and $500 towards interest. And then 2014, I paid $1926.75 and over $1,000 towards interest. In 2015, I paid $1,800 and about $900 in interest. So at this point, I had been at my school for a couple of years. 2015 is also the year that my husband and I got married, and we pretty much cash flowed our wedding. So that was great to not accrue more debt from that. At this point, we were living where we are now. So we moved in where we are now in 2014. So our rent went up from an apartment to a condo townhouse. And my husband was more successful in his business and was definitely starting to bring in more income, which was helping to pay off our wedding and, sustain a life for ourselves during that time. And I started to pay more attention to my interest, and I was paying $230 a month, but then I would pay a few extra dollars to bring down my balance to an even amount. So I started to track, my loan according to that. I was still only making one payment a month. In retrospect, I wish I had divided it up week to week, and that would have helped pay off more interest. And now that I know that strategy, I'll be using that for our future loans that we're paying off, or even bi-weekly in making those loan payments. So 2016, still on track, $1,865 and $863. 2017, almost $2,000 towards principal, $800 towards interest. So this shows consistency, right? We are on track. This is the end of the year is when my son was born. We did have a challenging pregnancy and a challenging start to his life, but we were able to still make all of our payments. So that was another plus to my job, as I was able to take time off for about 3.5 months and still get paid, which was incredible. All right, so 2018, still consistent, just over $2,000, $794 towards interest. And then 2019 is when I started to make a little bit extra to this balance, right? Paying off a little bit more over the life, or over that year, about $200 more. And interest went down to $680, so about $100 off. 2020, I made even more payments. So this is where I was beginning to make payments every week, looking at our budget, saying, okay, I've got an extra $25. I can throw that to that loan. I had already paid off my husband's student loan when he had done some college classes. I also paid off all of our credit card debt. So 2020, with the pandemic starting, was actually good for our finances. The stimulus money really helped. My husband was an essential worker, and he was able to expand his business during that time, as well as get one of the government loans, and that helped to consolidate some debt that he had on our credit card that went back, from many years earlier. So all in all, in that year, I was able to do almost $4,400 of payments, and $400 of that went to interest, $4,400 and $400 of interest. And then 2021, I had a balance of $3,900, and I was able to pay that off as of March of 2021. And I had only paid $44.39 towards interest. So in total, for these 8 years, in the time of July 2013 until March 2021, I'm going to make Marta. Principal payments of $20,803.32. That's a lot of money. And interest was $59.80.18. So in total, $26,783.50 just in those 8 years to this one loan. So in total, over here, you can see in the first 10 years, again, I paid $11,295.11. That is what I had paid out of pocket to Sally Mae. And then the second 8 years to Navient was $26,783.50. In total, $38,000 is what I paid for this student loan. That initially was $18,000. So I paid $20,000 of interest and fees to this loan, to the banks that issued me the loan. And again, I'm thankful for them for that. I'm thankful that they invested in me and that I was able to get the education that I got. Incredible. Like, the education was priceless, but yet I did have to pay a price, right? I had to pay, just on this one loan, $38,078.61 for a total of interest and fees of $19,976.14. Had I made some different decisions, this could have turned out differently. And the number one thing I just wish I had started to do was budget and track not just what I was, needing to pay, because I was budgeting back then. I remember, those first budgets that I did, listing everything out, but I wasn't keeping track of the interest. in the principal and really looking at, well, if I paid $5 more here, at the beginning, then I would, owe less over the time. But again, I was doing the best I could as I was getting my life together, as I was figuring myself out and battling my 20s and, loving to hang out with friends, and my priorities were different. But if you are watching this, please take away my message to you. Track your principal and track your interest. And every extra penny that you can pay makes a difference. So that's what I got for today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.